Modi's big South focus in cabinet. From HDK to Bandi Sanjay.
Haradanhalli Devegowda.
Bandi Sanjay Kumar.
South states get big representation. TDP gets 2 berths in Council of Ministers.
I, Kinjarapu Ramamohan Naidu.
Big southern footprint in Modi government 3.0. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. We're going to be breaking down all the details of the Modi cabinet and keeping our focus on the portfolios. Who gets what? The cabinet meeting is currently underway, but there's still no clarity on the portfolio allocation. We'll explain to you why there's been a delay and get you all the details that we have so far on what's being discussed in the cabinet meet. Let's begin with the headlines. Modi 3.0 kicks off. First cabinet meet underway at the Prime Minister's residence. Suspense over portfolios continues. BJP set to keep plumbers. Prime Minister Modi's first address since taking oath for the third historic time. Addressing PMO, PM says his aim is to take the nation to new heights with the People's Prime Minister office.
मैं न सत्ता के लिए पैदा हुआ हूं, न मैं शक्ति अर्जित करने के लिए सोचता हूं.
Two children aged 2 and 14 among the 9 killed in Riyasi terror attack. Pakistan-backed Lashkar Front TRF claims responsibility. Maldives President Muizzu and Prime Minister Modi all smiles at the oath-taking ceremony. Pleasantries exchanged. Modi, Muizzu, Bonhomie signals thaw in ties. No relief for rape accused JDS Neta Prajwal Revanna. Court sends Prajwal to 14-day judicial custody in Karnataka's Sleaze Videos investigation. And big row over Amit Malviya. RSS Neta Shantanu Sinha levels sex abuse allegations against the BJP IT cell chief. Malviya sues Sinha over sex abuse charge. And let's cut across to the first images coming in of the Modi 3.0 cabinet meeting that's currently underway at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg at the Prime Minister's residence. You can see all of the ministers present there, just freshly taken oath, barely 24 hours after you have this cabinet meet taking place. But there's still no clarity on who gets what, who's representing which particular portfolio. So the birth confusion at this point and the confusion over which portfolio has gone to which minister continues at this point. There's still no clarity on that, but you can see those images are on your screens and there'll be a lot being read into who's seated where. Right now on the Prime Minister's right, you see Rajnath Singh, on his left, Amit Shah, and obviously that signals a certain level of seniority based on who's seated closest to the Prime Minister. But they're all smiles because you can see that this is in fact the images of the cabinet meet where in all likelihood the Prime Minister is also going to be briefing them on his vision for the next 5 years. And already, of course, there's been a lot of talk about the first 100 days of Modi 3.0 being power-packed with reforms. But that question mark remains on who gets what right now in the Modi team. I want to bring in our reporters on this broadcast. Aishwarya Paliwal is joining us from outside the cabinet meet venue, which is the Prime Minister's residence. Poulomi Saha is also live with us. Poulomi, I'll come across to you first on what's exactly happening in that cabinet meet. Lots on the agenda, clearly. But the biggest question everyone's asking right now is on portfolio allocation. Is there a possibility, Poulomi, that in that cabinet meet, the Prime Minister could be briefing each one of his ministers and thereby telling them which portfolio they'll be in charge of?
Akshata, at the moment, of course, it's unclear as to what that briefing is all about, which the Prime Minister, of course, is doing at the moment inside 7 Lok Kalyan Marg. It could be a general sense of, welcoming everyone to the new Union Cabinet, congratulating them on, having made it as well. It could be very informal. This is not a cabinet meeting which is going to, be very serious in terms of getting down to brass tacks, though he has in fact laid down the vision already for the Union Council of Ministers. He spoke with them yesterday, the incoming Union Council of Ministers, before they were administered the oath of office. He spoke with them over chai yesterday at his residence. The entire,
confirm something for us. My apologies for interrupting. Can you just confirm something for us? We're hearing that there could be, at very, very short notice, a cabinet briefing.
Right. Yes, Akshata, we've been told by our sources within the government that there will be a cabinet briefing. This will be the first cabinet briefing of the Modi government 3.0, the NDA Sarkar 3.0. So the first cabinet briefing that is expected, this is in usual circumstances, this is interesting. We would assume that one of the ministers on the dais would have been the Information and Broadcasting Minister. Of course, in the past it was Anurag Singh Thakur. He's not part of the Union Council of Ministers right now. So who is the Information and Broadcasting Minister? Will that briefing be led by the INB Minister, or will someone else be deputed to brief the media over the first cabinet meeting of Modi Sarkar 2.0? But it will be a minister. So I'm guessing that the portfolio allocation would have been done and you'll have a briefing from a mantri.
Okay, and I'm sure there'll be endless speculation on whoever briefs the media about whether he or she is the next IB minister. With no hints right now on who gets what, everyone's going to be reading into every single image, video, visual that we get right now of that cabinet meet. Let me bring in Aishwarya Paliwal also on this broadcast. Aishwarya, full attendance, of course, by all of the union ministers. Do any of them know which portfolios they have? Is this utmost secrecy or part of the entire cabinet, or is it only the top layer who actually knows who's getting what?
Well, definitely, Akshita, we have seen the kind of secrecy that has been maintained. The leaders are obviously speaking, but they are not speaking about what portfolios they have been spoken to about. They have been speaking about the fact at large, about what Modi government 3.0 will do. All of them are very, very confident that they will make sure that there is a smooth running. They will work for the country. And the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi entered his office today, his body language, Akshata, spoke about the fact that he knows how to run the government, be it his party, the Bharatiya Janata Party, with full numbers, or even if he has to make sure that he has allies with him. All those things have been taken care of from what we are understanding. The portfolios are being told inside the visuals that we are showing on our screens. But the one important picture, Akshata, if you have noticed, is the picture of Mahatma Gandhi right behind where all the ministers are sitting. And once we see the full table there, and right behind them is a portrait of Mahatma Gandhi. So that too is a signal that now they are ready. They'll make sure that the next 5 years are glorious for the country. And Prime Minister time and again has been speaking not just for 5 or 10 years. He in fact has put a long target, the target of 2047, by when he wants India to become a developed nation.
Okay, so at this point in those images, it looks like it's largely a debriefing by Prime Minister Modi of what he expects from his cabinet, from his ministers. But what we're hearing, at least, and these are based on sources that I've spoken to as well, that the ministers seated there don't really have a clue at this point of which portfolio they're representing. When the time is right, the communication will be sent across, and that's when here on India Today also we'll be able to pick up bits and pieces of who's getting what is the portfolio allocation really looking like. But like I said, with the images that are streaming in right now from 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, from the Prime Minister's residence, there's going to be a lot that's read into who's seated next to the Prime Minister, Aishwarya, because everyone will assume that these are then the most powerful ministers in the cabinet.
Well, definitely, Akshita, and we also saw the top 5 names of the list that came yesterday. So obviously we are getting some signals. These are the old people who understand what needs to be done next, people who know how to make sure that policies are right, and those policies, once the policies are made, once the schemes are made, the implementation will be the key, and that is something that we will see taking place over the course of the next 5 years, because in policies and a lot of schemes have been given by the government over the past 10 years. The implementation will be the key this time for Modi Sarkar. 3.0.
Okay, some details trickling in also what's being discussed in the cabinet meeting right now. What we can tell you is that a decision has been taken by the cabinet to provide assistance to construct 3 crore rural and urban houses under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Remember that the first file that was signed by Prime Minister Modi earlier today was to release the Kisan Nidhi installment. So clearly the messaging here is very, very clear from Modi 3.0 that they want to put the focus on Vikas, on the welfare of the poor and the farmers. And this is a message that the Prime Minister also had sent across in that NDA meet that had taken place at the Central Hall of Parliament before his swearing in. Late last night, of course, after the event at Rashtrapati Bhavan, today in this cabinet meet, it's along those lines that you're seeing a decision being taken by the cabinet. The second big decision essentially by Modi 3.0. This is to do with the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So you'll see 3 crore rural and urban houses being built, providing assistance for the construction of these homes. Vikas, clearly the agenda here, looking at the 2 big decisions that have been taken. I want to bring in our news director, Rahul Kaval, also on this broadcast. Rahul, good evening. At this point, there's still a big question mark on portfolio allocation. What do you make of this delay, Rahul? There's a lot of buzz that it's because of differences between the allies. Is that what you'd attribute it to?
You saw that Janata Dal's secular leader who commented a short while ago, slightly irritated, saying he didn't know what portfolio he was getting. And at the cabinet swearing in yesterday at Rashtrapati Bhavan, we asked a few of these ministers just off record when there was no one around, कि आपको मालूम है कि आपको क्या मिल रहा है? And many of them said they had no clue. Some suggested that they had an inkling, those who are continuing in their previous positions, but many accepted, quite frankly, that they had very little idea. And that's just the way things are. What we've heard, though, and I think what needs to be looked at in the broader context is that the government and the Prime Minister himself has been looking at this verdict very carefully, trying to understand what the voters in their combined wisdom are telling him and trying to draw lessons. And one of the big announcements which you just told our viewers about is that the 3 crore additional rural and urban houses will be built under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Now, there are a total of 4.21 crore houses that have been completed, and in the last 10 years, so they're adding to that. And Akshita, you remember from your travels during the election, and I saw this in several places, in so many of the villages across our country, you now have these houses which have a PMAY sticker put out, like a placard put out outside the house where it says it's a Awas Yojana house, and people are very, very proud of the fact that they have a Pakka house to live in. So while it may not seem like such a big deal, for some of the viewers watching at this moment, but in some of the smaller villages in particular, and even in the non-posh areas in the cities and towns as well, this is a very significant achievement. And we'll see, from what I've been able to gather by speaking to officials who work on the economic side of policy with the Prime Minister, they've been given very clearly instructions that they have to kind of increase the, without being fiscally profligate, they have to increase the outgoes for those involved in the informal sector, those who aren't so well off. That's really the effort that the Prime Minister will try and make. He'll still attempt to be fiscally conservative and not be reckless and not do things which are against his nature. But the fact that there is distress, the fact that there is income inequality, the fact that people at the bottom of the pyramid are unhappy, which comes out very clearly in this result, is something that the Prime Minister, we're told, has taken very keen note of. And through the policy maneuvers that we see over the next few weeks, they'll try and address that to the extent that they can, Akshita.
You know, the messaging involved here, Rahul, I know there are a lot of questions about portfolio allocation. There are many who are poking holes, saying that, look, this is again a message that, all is not well within the NDA. That's what's led to this delay. But the messaging behind going ahead and announcing this kind of a move in the cabinet, or for that matter, hours ago, the first file that the Prime Minister signed was to do with farmers' welfare, was to do with the Kisan Nidhi scheme. The messaging here from the Prime Minister is very clear that the mandate here is for Vikas, and that will continue. It's a message of confidence, essentially.
No, but none of this is ever likely to be fractious, whether you're giving money to farmers or you're building houses for urban or rural poor. This is unlikely to ever run into trouble. The question is on the reform side. When it comes to economic policy, the kind of things that the Prime Minister believes instinctively that the government has no business of being in government. When he started out in 2014, his cabinet was much smaller. In 2019, it became bigger. By the time we're in 2024, it's as big as can be given the restrictions on how big your cabinet can be. So I think those are the key points. He says he came to the India Day conclave in 2013 and said the government has no business of being in business, indicating very clearly that strategic disinvestment was something that he was big on. Apart from that big success at Air India, they haven't been able to get very much done. The good thing from the Prime Minister's perspective is that the likes of the Telugu Desam Party and even the JDU aren't opposed to these kind of ideas, but he'll basically have to consult. Here's a man, Akshita, who never had to look left or right. He just had to march on straight, say what he did, and his word was law. Now he has to consult, he has to take people along. It'll require a change in aptitude. And everyone I spoke to, Akshita, yesterday at Rashtrapati Bhavan said, you see how quickly the Prime Minister changes his style. It's not as if he isn't used to being able to be a different kind of person. He's had many makeovers, and people around him seem confident at this moment that he has what it takes to be able to make this makeover.
All right, Rahul, thanks very much for joining us here on India Today with your perspective and your insights on what's really happening in that cabinet meet, which is underway as we speak. A crucial one because it gives you a sense of really what's the #1 priority for Prime Minister Modi. But just bringing the focus back at this point to the portfolio allocation and the big buzz over that. Aishwarya, to bring you in, you're reporting from outside the Prime Minister's residence where the cabinet meet is underway. Explain something to me. In 2014 and 2019, soon after the swearing-in ceremony, did we have clarity of the portfolios before the cabinet meet, or was it that time to right after?
Well, just before the cabinet meeting, both in 2014 and 2019, we were given a fair sense of who is getting what. But this time, Akshata, the situation is completely changed. First of all, Bharatiya Janata Party was not expecting the number that they got, that is 240. Second, they did not expect, to see the kind of wish list that has come from the allies, basically the two main allies, the JDU and the TDP. Chandrababu Naidu on one side, Nitish Kumar on one side. People are saying that this is the triple N government. Narendra Modi, Chandrababu Naidu and Nitish Kumar. So definitely they will now have to make some changes. And one thing that the Bharatiya Janata Party, Akshata, has understood, and this is a change from 2014 and 2019, is the fact that something did actually go wrong. So this time they don't want to make... They want to make sure everything is spot on. They don't want to make any mistake. So with regards to that, the decision is very, very crucial. Who will get what? How will the implementation take place? And that's the reason why we are saying while the, the first cabinet briefing is taking place inside the Prime Minister's house, the portfolios are not yet out. The simple reason because they cannot falter this time. For them, this is a T20. Every ball is as crucial as the earlier one, and they cannot afford to lose even a single wicket this time around.
Okay, just bringing in Polemy again on this. Polemy, a question that I asked earlier is about whether this delay in actually announcing who is getting what, the portfolio allocation, can be attributed to some problems within the allies. Is the BJP having a tough time really figuring out who gets what because of tantrums from some of the allies?
Well, I don't think so. Akshata, as far as the BJP top brass is concerned, including, of course, Prime Minister Modi, who is leading the charge in terms of allocation of portfolios, being, of course, provided ample advice by Mr. Amit Shah as well. We believe that this is about ensuring that there is proper allocation and everyone gets exactly what they're probably, going to flourish in terms of leading the charge in that specific ministry as well. Yes, there will be considerations that will be taken into account as well, because each of the allies who are part of the Union Council of Ministers have given a wish list of the ministries that they'd like as part of, their allocation. But yes, they did not get the required numbers. They would have presumed that the numbers would have been higher, but they haven't got as many, numbers. But yes, a portfolio, there is a wish list that is there with the Bharatiya Janata Party. They will want to keep, the key portfolios, which for instance comprise the CCS, the Cabinet Committee on Security, and other key portfolios as well. All of these considerations are being taken and kept in mind as, of course, they're finalizing that list. This is possibly one of the largest as far as, a Union Council of Ministers under Narendra Modi is concerned. The entire 72 who have been sworn in, including, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is a huge exercise which is being undertaken taken. Yes, understandably, people are questioning the delay, and that's true. Usually, you do know by the next morning as to who has got which portfolio, but this is a coalition government, so those compulsions do come into the picture. You have to take into account a lot of those wish lists as well, and as you rightly pointed, they have to bear in mind the fact that there could be alliance partners who would eventually, not like the portfolio which has been assigned to them, allocated to them. So they have to think about all of that. But I would still say yes, this delay seems a little too inordinate at the moment.
All right. Thanks very much, Pauline, for getting us those details. Thanks to Aishwarya also for joining us from the cabinet meet venue. We're keeping our eyes peeled on what really emerges from the cabinet huddle. We've given you details of the big decisions that have been taken. But what about the portfolio allocations? The big question everyone's asking. And at this point, while there was so much talk of, news coming out because it's a coalition government, Prime Minister Modi has proved that most definitely will not be the case. Whenever they're ready to go ahead and make the announcement is when perhaps we'll all know who gets what.